In this episode of
There we
Survival
go.
Dispatch Reviews,
Oh,
we're looking at some remarkably powerful crossbow pistols. Carlos and Vanessa from William Tell Archery joining us today from South Carolina. Welcome to the show, y'all.
Hello.
hey.
Let's start by discussing these crazy powerful pistol crossbows, because that's what caught my attention when I first saw them. I was looking at like the FPS ratings, feet per second ratings, and made me do a double take because the numbers rival, full size crossbows and compound bows and whatnot. So tell me a little bit more. Yeah, I mean that's tiny. So what are the ratings on that particular unit, Carlos?
So this one, we have two models. This one is the smallest one.
The forward land.
This one can reach up to 320 feet per second with a light bolt. For practical reasons, if you use a hunting bolt, you're looking at 250 maybe.
Okay.
250. It has something that is pretty good too. It has a crank that is really easy to pull. It's only 40 pounds.
Interesting.
Or so you can cock it with your arms, or if a kid can, it has a hook that works as a stirrup, so a kid can easily cock it. Our 8-year-old used to cock one.
Interesting. Yeah,
And
that's innovative in itself. I mean, because a lot of people with the more powerful full-size crossbows, the complaint would be they don't have the strength to load it.
Or if they use an external device, it takes a while to set it up, and like if
a
you have
cocking rope.
a cocking rope or a crank, it takes a
Right.
while. This is our bigger version. This one can reach out of up to 450, but with a hunting bolt with a broadhead is around 350.
It's
Interesting.
a reverse draw
Yeah, it's called
model,
the reverse draw.
and it has a longer power stroke on it, just a slightly longer power stroke to give it a little extra power, 1 inch longer.
Yeah, and the crank, and the little one, the crank is 40 pounds. It requires 40 pounds of force. This one requires 50 pounds. So it's a little bit harder, but it's still manageable. Cocking, the whole process of cocking, loading the bolt takes about 30, 35 seconds, which is way faster than, a bulky crossbow.
Yeah, unless you're Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, right? And then you have some help from the editing
You
department.
can kill 10 zombies in like a minute,
And
Yeah.
it's 3 pounds. That's the beauty of it. And you can put it in a backpack. I mean, it's just so simple to carry.
I mean, the combination of the performance and the size is super impressive. I've spoke to our friend Dr. Jennifer Stankus several times, and she's a big fan of your products. She's been on Surviving Man, the TV show, for a couple seasons and whatnot. And I haven't seen it firsthand myself, but I'd like you to kind of discuss the magazine that you created to essentially rapid fire bolts from a pistol crossbow. I mean, that sounds like extremely innovative stuff.
So this is our home defense kit, and here's the quiver. We've got a quiver. I don't know if we have a quiver. No, we have the magazine here. We've got a bayonet, and we've got an adjustable handle, and we've got a sight as well on there. So we've got some optics, and you can fire 6 hunting bolts off in 30 seconds?
It takes me about 20
seconds,
20 to 25.
So
not going crazy with it. Now we can mount this in both our crossbows, but in the smaller one in particular, it allows you to put broadheads on it. You can use the bolts come with this kind of broadhead, a small single blade, but you can even use bigger commercial single blade broadheads like this one.
Okay.
Give it a little bit more kick. And actually, yesterday I was speaking to our engineer because we're going to bring to the market a clip. So instead of loading the arrows one by one, you just put them on a clip, put them on, shoot them, throw it away, and then put the next clip. So give you a little bit more speed on reloading.
Yeah, essentially a speed loader. The first thing I thought to myself when I heard of this product, like your home defense product with the magazine, was I don't think a lot of people have shot guns indoors before with no hearing protection and realized just how brutal it is. And I mean, not only are your ears ringing, you can't hear it, it can disorient you and whatnot. And so if you don't have a suppressed firearm, you know, to protect yourself from a home invasion, that product right there, deadly quiet, deadly application.
Our customers from Great Britain love this one because it's very hard to obtain a gun. In fact, I think it might be illegal, but you can use this for home defense in England. So, and there's other countries too, like Australia, Canada, that love this baby.
Well, you know, we were talking before the show, and I mentioned I just pulled some YouTube stats this morning, and for the first time ever, 25% of our audience is international. Typically that's average like the 5-6% range. So definitely a great solution for our friends outside of America.
Yeah, we're starting to have customers and inquiries for countries we have never heard before. Like I got one from Greece this week, and who was the other one? Norway. Mm-hmm. Never have a customer from Norway, and now they're knocking at our door. So that's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the laws are like in Greece, but most of those, you know, Icelandic countries, like Norway, are pretty restrictive when it comes to firearms. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great option for somebody who can't get a firearm in those countries for sure. I'm blown away at the form factor, how small it is, combined with how powerful it is, and then being able to get half a dozen bolts off in 22 seconds. That's pretty impressive.
It's a really perfect combination of power and portability. I mean, it just makes sense in survival situations to have something that's tiny and powerful, and that if you find yourself in a tight space, like if you're in a tree stand, or if you're in you know, a saddle set up on a tree and you're just, you know, hunting in the wild. I mean, it's great for a ground blind. And it's a lot of fun. Besides being practical, I just think it's fun. And so if you want to shoot in your backyard and you don't want to disturb your neighbors, because there's laws against, you know, shooting in your backyard, a gun, it's just a great, fun little thing to do. If you want to get into it as a hobby. In fact, it's been called active meditation. I read about that in psychology. Archery is active meditation because of the amazing effects it has on your body to improve your focus, your self-discipline, your ability to concentrate, and to lower blood pressure and depression and anxiety. So like people with PTSD use crossbows to actually calm themselves down. Kids with ADHD, they've done studies of kids that shot crossbows for 3 weeks, and as opposed to playing sports like basketball and football. And what happened was those sports that kind of have more strategies behind them and have a lot more complicated rules, it actually increases the ADHD symptoms. But shooting a crossbow actually improves kids' focus. And so we want people to know that all people can hunt and shoot, and it actually produces a positive effect, and kids can use this crossbow. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can be a kid, you can be someone with you can be a veteran. We have veterans that are disabled, that have shoulder injuries, that have come to us wanting a crossbow, and they can use it just fine from a wheelchair. I mean, it's just easy to use for everybody. I can use it. I'm not a big lady myself, but I'm not that strong, but I love it. And so it's definitely good for everybody.
You hit on a whole bunch of interesting stuff there. One of them being that you can practice in your backyard. So, you know, one of our guys on our team, Mike Sterling, 23-year Army vet, master EOD technician. The guy's absolutely brilliant. On a frequent basis, he will, you know, counsel people that human beings don't rise to the occasion. They fall to their level of training. So, you know, practicing with a crossbow is a perishable skill. It's something that if you're not doing it on a routine basis, you know, your performance level will fall off, but it's absolutely fun. I mean, we do dry fire training. We do, you know, training with compound bows in our backyard, and we mix in physical activity with it so that we're under some form of duress. But what a great tool that you can use and not have to worry that you're disturbing neighbors or doing something illegal, like, you know, shooting gunshots in your backyard. And the thing that occurred to me with that's, you know, kind of interesting is mantisx.com. They make a bunch of dry fire training products, and they make one that's called the X10. And you can put the X10 on crossbows, compound bows, those sort of things. and it doesn't allow you to compete in what's called the Laser Training Academy, which is pretty advanced stuff. But what it will do is it will show you the path of the end of your arrow before you unleash it and during the process, in this case of pulling a trigger. And so I'm just thinking back to way back when I started using these types of products for guns. I started to discover that my second shot was really bad. Didn't matter if it was with a pistol, an SBR, a carbine, or whatever the case may be. So you can't fix something that you're not aware of. You can't improve something that you haven't benchmarked or anything like that. So I'm just thinking, like, your product combined with an X10, what a great way to improve your skills, whether it be self-defense, recreational, or hunting.
And this is another thing that we develop ourselves. A quiver, it has 12 bolts.
Okay.
You can carry bolts on it. If they have bigger broadheads, it can limit the carrying capacity to maybe 6. And the fishing bolt, what is the fishing bolt?
Okay.
So that's really interesting. Yeah,
it's a steel fishing bolt, so it doesn't break if it hits a rock, for example, when you're shooting.
Rock or mud or whatever, and it goes deep in the water because it's heavy.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like when you're fighting a fish and the fish is a half decent size, that seems to me like a much easier way to get them in the boat. If you can get them close, hit them with a bolt, and then scoop them up in a net. That's pretty innovative as well. I can honestly say, if it exists, I've never seen a crossbow that's been dual purpose for fishing. Never seen a crossbow with a magazine for rapid fire. Never seen a crossbow with a speed loader. So if these things exist, I just haven't seen them. But congratulations on coming out with some pretty innovative stuff.
Thank you. And another advantage that this crossbow has is that it's very easy to fix. Usually what fail in crossbows are the string and the limbs.
Okay.
They're under stress. Well, it comes with we have a really inexpensive bow press. It's just 2 brackets that you can put on the side, and most of the bolts are the same size.
Okay.
So just an Allen wrench and the bow press, and you can change the limbs in the field, change the strings in the field, and keep going. While other crossbows, you have to go back to the archery store.
Mm-hmm.
That's well, and that's another cool USP, for lack of a better term. So, super impressed with the stuff you guys have, to be honest with you. And let me just qualify that. You're not paying Survival Dispatch any money. We don't have an affiliate relationship with you. It's just a really cool product that was brought to our attention, and we wanted to get in front of our audience, to be quite frank. So you're not paying us anything, correct?
Thank you for that. We appreciate that. And we love what we do. We love our customers. We love bringing something that brings joy and adds value to their life.
As we wrap up here, where can people find you online? What's your website first?
WTArchery.com.
WTArchery.com. Okay.
That's it. Short for William Tell Archery supplies.com. And then we also are on Instagram, William Tell Archery Supplies, and we're also on Facebook, William Tell Archery Supplies.
Okay. All right. Well, what we'll do is we'll add links down below in the description so that people can find you. And really appreciate y'all coming on Survival Dispatch Reviews, and wish you all the best of luck.
Thanks, Chris. It's been a pleasure. Chris.